Work on a variety of vehicles from Hondas to Porsches, Jaguars to Toyotas, and Chevrolets to Fords. We pride ourselves on customer service and relationships, and we would be grateful for the opportunity to serve you. Give us a call at 402-477-4660. A1 Automotive, always honest answers.
Most parents have a homework schedule for the weekdays, but don't forget to cover the weekends. I'm Jenny Benson, president of the Nebraska State Education Association. A good way to avoid a problem is to set a homework schedule for the weekend. Set aside a couple hours of homework time on Saturday and help your student avoid staying up late Sunday night to finish a project. Remember, communicating with your child's teacher is vital for student success.
Sponsored by the Nebraska State Education Association, aired by the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Problem gambling affects millions of Americans daily, of all ages and walks of life. If your loved one is struggling with addiction, contact Choices Treatment Center's 24-hour helpline at 402-476-2300. That's 402-476-2300.
Rosie Sports Bar and Grill. Open for lunch and dinner at 10th and P or at 1501 Center Park Road.
It's fishing season. Bad actors are trolling your business emails, luring you and your employees to take the bait and steal your private information. Make sure your cybersecurity keeps your business from being the catch of the day. At Hamilton, cybersecurity is our business. We are experts at keeping your network and business information secure and off the hook. Contact Hamilton for a vulnerability assessment today. Hire your local experts. Hire Hamilton at hamiltonisbusiness.com.
I get it, slip it, cuff it, check it twice a day.
I get it, slip it, cuff it, check it in the morning and before dinner.
I get it, slip it, cuff it, check it, and share it with my doctor. Nearly 1 in 2 U.S. adults have high blood pressure. That's why it's important to self-monitor your blood pressure in 4 easy-to-remember steps. It starts with a monitor.
Now that I know my blood pressure numbers, I talked with my doctor. We're getting those numbers down. Get it, slip it, cuff it, check it. Talk to doctor now and share it.
Be next to talk to your doctor about your blood pressure numbers. Get down with your blood pressure. Self-monitoring is power. Learn more at manageyourbp.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council, the American Heart Association, and the American Medical Association, in partnership with the Office of Minority Health and Health Resources and Services Administration.
Houses? They're expensive. And once you buy one, you're kind of stuck with it for a while. You need to make sure you get your best house for the best price. You need Ben Bleicher and his team of pros at Professional Realty Group. They'll take the time to figure out what's important for you in your dream home, and they have the expertise to find the hidden issues that could surprise you after the sale. That's professional knowledge, proactive service. We call that potential. Ben Bleicher and the team at Professional Realty Group of Berkshire Hathaway's Home Service Ambassador. Find more online at prg-ne.com.
It's time for Outside the Box with Lincoln Stars head coach Rocky Russo and Lincoln Stars broadcaster Joel Norman on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Chatting Lincoln Stars hockey here on 93.7 The Ticket. This is Outside the Box. I'm Joel Norman, joined as always by the head coach of the Lincoln Stars, Rocky Russo, and coming off of a entertaining week of hockey, I think. There was a lot going on last weekend. 2 games of the defending Clark Cup champions and the Youngstown Phantoms. The Stars split those 2 games and head into their first true road games of the season. They've hit the road before. They'll head to Waterloo this Friday and then Sioux City on Saturday. Rocky, how are we doing today?
I'm good, Joel. How are you?
I'm doing very well as well. Like you mentioned, you're glad you got to break out the contacts today. You've had, it got to be a nice step forward for you right there.
Yeah, I had that eye surgery the beginning of the first week before we played Madison, and it's been a couple weeks, and finally I was due to cut the grass. I'm like, all right, it's time to go on the maiden voyage and put the contact back in. So it's starting to feel good. So hopefully in the next couple weeks it'll start to look normal again. But glad that's behind me and moving forward.
Moving forward into this coming weekend, but looking back real quickly at how the Youngstown games went, and the theme of the season so far, Rocky, is this team's ability to bounce back after a tough start to it. Every win so far has come after a loss, 3-0 to this point. That's all 3 of the wins that we've mentioned, and I think you had to like a lot about what your team did this past Saturday. I thought it was pretty clear in that first period against Youngstown, despite it being after 20 minutes, that it was going to be a different Lincoln Stars team from the night before.
You know what? There's a lot to dive into there, and I believe in analytics. I also believe in my gut. And, I didn't think we played great hockey on Saturday. We did good things for stretches, but consistently our process wasn't great. Our process was better, ironically, at times on Saturday, but the third period, a lot of things happened, and I'm going to get into that in a second. But um, they really put it on us, which is to be expected. You're down 3-0 going into the third period. You're going to give a push, and so, but analytically, we played much better on Friday than we did on Saturday. But we had three penalty kills early on in in the first period there on Saturday, and we weathered that storm. We killed all three of those. Really brought some momentum back to our bench, and we're able to capitalize and score 3 goals in the second period. And then, I had a family emergency at home. Everything's fine. My wife was very ill, unfortunately, and she was home alone with the kids. I don't have any family around here, and my wife's a trooper. She's not somebody that she knows when something's not right, and she's never, in the time that we've been together, ever called me in the middle of a game. And she called Corey, and Corey handed me the phone, and she kind of explained what was going on, and poof, I was off the bench and I was gone, and I got home, and fortunately we have some neighbors that were able to come over and help in the short term, and she's good now, and that's the most important thing. But that was a scenario where the guys are kind of looking around like, where'd coach go? And that takes the focus on what's happening in the game. But Art and Mike did a fantastic job of keeping them focused and kind of rallying around that whole situation, and we're able to get a big win. But what I've said to the guys is, when you win 3 and you lose 3, what are you? You're average. And we aren't average here in Lincoln. I don't want to be average. I've never been average. I don't intend to be average. This organization is designed and built to be much more than that. And so, it's great that we found a way to bounce back in these 3 scenarios where we've lost games, but we've made some mistakes. We gave up 3 goals on Friday that were very much within our control. We haven't scored enough. Obviously, there's no secret about that. Going into Saturday's game, we'd scored 7 goals in our first 5 games. I mean, it's not enough. And you can't ask your goalies to win 2-1 or 1-0 every night. That's not realistic. So we need to find a way to score 3.5, 4.5 goals a game if we're going to be successful. And so that's been a lot of things that we're harping on. But I am proud of the fact that we were able to come back. We scored 4 line rush goals on Saturday, which is fantastic. But we've got to generate some more 5-on-5 in zone offense and create goals that way. We've got to be a little bit more successful on our power play. I think it's turning the corner a little bit, but it's not been a consistent driver to bring momentum back to our bench just yet at this point in the season.
For starters, really glad to hear everything's all right with Melissa. I know a lot of people had questions about that after the game on Saturday. Glad to hear things are okay there. The second thing, I wanted to touch on that power play. I'm glad you brought that up. It felt like late in the game on Saturday, there were definitely some signs. There were a couple of chances. I remember Tyler Wood nearly had 2 tap-in goals backdoor. And it seemed like the puck movement was a little bit more precise. And what did you attribute that to? It seemed like there were a few personnel changes along there. Was it some schematic changes you saw as well?
It was a combination of those things. And I appreciate the kind words about my wife. And I went back and forth about even mentioning it. I'm surprised even anybody noticed I left the bench. Apparently people are paying attention. But it's the power play stuff. Is we did make some personnel changes, and we gave some guys some opportunity. They weren't generating enough, so you switch it up. You give some other guys some chances. And if you look historically, power plays change throughout the course of the year, and guys that start on it, come off it, end up back on it. And so it's kind of an ebb and flow thing, but we're excited about the personnel that are on there right now, and hopefully generating and creating for us.
Looking to create some chances, but also done a great job at eliminating chances for other teams when they've been on the power play. This is something we talked about after the Fall Classic games. It feels like the Stars penalty kill has kind of picked up right where it left off from a season ago. Second best in the USHL last season. You look back these past 2 weekends here, it's superb work, especially against Youngstown. They went 0 for 10 overall, and it's been a really solid unit. It seems like some of the guys who were on the PK last year have done a really good job jumping back into that role, and newcomers who have jumped in have really made their presence felt as well, Rocky.
You know what? It's a combination of things. First thing is winning that first face-off. We've done that consistently, which gets you that first 200-foot clear. We've done a pretty good job of managing the neutral zone, not giving up the blue line with possession and speed, and then being patient. Understanding where our toes need to be, where our sticks need to be, blocking pucks when we need to, not giving away second and third chances. We dove into Youngstown's power play. It's very threatening. They've got a lot of talent on that team, and I watched them score some pretty highlight reel power play goals leading up to that. And so for us, it was really just about making sure that we can nullify that as best we could. We weren't, you love to go perfect on the weekend. That's not necessarily what you're hoping for, but I think that had a lot to do with our success on Saturday, because they had those 3 early power plays. I thought the second call, I could take it or leave it. A couple of them were penalties. They were, but they got 3 early, and if you can get through there, referees know they just called 3 in a row on you. They're going to be looking to find one to get you back up on the power play and try to even those numbers out. And so for us, it actually ended up being a good thing, because we brought a lot of momentum to our bench and a lot of energy, and the guys were pretty excited when we got through those.
Yeah, and it worked out really well in that regard, killing off a lot in that first period. The first period on Saturday felt like the Stars were pretty much under siege. And Shostak stood tall, and the penalty kill really did a nice job as well.
Absolutely. And, Jan played well. I thought there was probably 1 or 2 of the 3 that he would have wanted back on Friday, but he certainly wasn't the reason that we lost. There were some breakdowns, and obviously you can't get shut out. Can't get shut out at home, but you can't get shut out. And I didn't even think we presented a lot of threatening chances, a lot of pedestrian perimeter stuff, no second and thirds. Didn't really have Owen Bartoskevich under the microscope there too much. And so, I felt like it was good to roll Jan back and give him a second chance. And, I also felt it was good to give Mass a full week to prepare to play this coming weekend.
Yeah, the work of Jan Shostak so far has quickly made him a fan favorite with this team. Top 5 in the USHL in goals against average, top 5 in save percentage. Rocky, I feel like every other time I'm at a game, I'm getting recommendations from fans for what I should be using for him when he makes a save. What kind of nickname to start using? But he's really endeared himself to fans early on, hasn't he?
I think the guys call him Showy. I don't know if he understands it. We need to work on his English a little bit, but he's a competitor. He's incredibly talented. He's very fast. He's a guy that is going to give us a chance to win every night. And at this level, at any level, as long as you got a goalie that's in there that's going to battle for you, that's going to do everything he can to try to keep it out, and that if you make a mistake, he's going to back you up, then that gives the guys a lot of confidence, and they can play with a little bit more ease, a little bit more poise, not having to be so tight, not having to worry about any puck that gets to the net might go in. And I think both of our goalies are capable of doing that for us. Mass has shown that, right? He's been a rock for us in his time here, and he'll continue to be moving forward.
Another newcomer who's really left his mark on the fans has been Blake Montgomery. And that was well before that 2-goal game this past Saturday, but it felt like, especially when he got that first goal, it was almost like the floodgates had opened up a little bit for him, because he had so many chances. I mean, the home opener, how many breakaways did he have in that game? I know he had 8 shots in total that night, but you kept thinking, boy, he's so due for a goal. And it was really nice to see from afar him have that big night Saturday.
It was funny because we were on the bench, and yet again, he's behind the D and he's touching pucks first. And I don't know who said it, but someone was like, geez, man, BMO's legs are so long. It's not even fair. Like, he covers so much space so fast, and he's fun to watch, right? He competes really hard, and he's got a good brain for it. So he understands when to hit his routes, when to put himself in a stretch position, when to be underneath. And he's generating 1,000 chances. And I really like that line with him and Mangs and Picard on Saturday night. They were consistent. They defended, but they brought a lot of offense. And obviously you get 2 from BMO and 1 from Mangs, and the crossbar from Picard, and a lot of good things coming. So hopefully that's that's a line that can create some chemistry moving forward.
Seemed like there were a lot of guys who I talked to. They said, "Boy, I want to be on a line with BMO. The way he skates, the way
Who doesn't want to? I want to be a line. I might go play in the NHL if I could play on a line with BMO for a while.
The way he's able to help his own teammates while generating his own chances. I mean, that's just, I would imagine for a lot of guys, that's your ideal line mate.
Yeah, but in the same breath, I didn't think he played very well on Friday, and it was good because I was able to be hard on him, and he's such a great kid, and he wants to learn, and he wants to be coached, and so the challenge for a player that's having that type of start to a season is to keep them grounded and keep them hungry and humble and grateful, and for BMO, I don't think that's going to be a problem. He's a guy that earned his opportunity to be here, and he's taken advantage of it, and he's going to continue to develop and grow.
We're chatting Lincoln Stars hockey here on 93.7 The Ticket. This is Outside the Box with me, Joel Norman, and Lincoln Stars head coach Rocky Russo. Would love to have you be part of the show. You can text us on the Sartor Heyman text line, 402-464-5685. You can also call us on that same number on the Honda of Lincoln hotline.
Shout out to Sartor Harmon. I bought my wife's birthday present there, and I actually told them that I came there and purchased because of 93.7 The Ticket and the advertising agreement they have with them. So
perfect.
Shout out to Sartor Harmon.
Absolutely. And we do have one from the Sartor Heyman text line right now from Chase B. He says, what's the message to the guys who have never experienced the hostile environment in Waterloo, also known as cowbell hell?
You know what? It's just a road game. It's a road game. Obviously, it's fun. I think that the message to the guys is to have fun in that environment, and if we do our job, we quiet those cowbells down. It was awful quiet. There weren't many cowbells at the end of the series there, were there, Joel?
Not in game 3 last year, not too many.
No, it got really quiet in that building, and I have a feeling that they're going to be talking about that throughout the course of this week. And they're a different team, we're a different team, but it's still Lincoln and Waterloo, and that's quickly become an interesting little rivalry between the two organizations. And so we have them this weekend, we have them next weekend. So we're going to be there back-to-back Fridays. Not a great schedule. We'll discuss that with the powers that be, but we're going there 2 weekends in a row, and so we need to prepare for it. And last year, the first time we went in there on a Friday, we took the bus up that day and we won. So we're going to do what we can to keep our heads down and find a way.
Tell me what your memories are. The first thing you think of when you think of that second round series before we move on that and we focus entirely on this year's team.
It was emotional. It was emotional. You've got a lot of different storylines. You've got, Danny Sambuco, who was released from there last summer that we picked up and added to our group, who ends up scoring the empty net goal. You've got Doug Grimes suspended in the third game. You've got the fact that we've had literally zero success against them all year long, right? They beat us up in our building, and then when we did have a chance to win, you had the controversial no goal call and in the ice box, and so there was a lot of build up to that series. They had made some trades. They acquired Mikko Matika. They acquired Garrett Brown. Like they did some things to load that team up, and so it was a little bit like slaying the dragon, and it was also, it took a lot of emotion out of us. And I think that coupled with losing game 1 the way we did in the Western Conference Finals, losing a really hard, tough battle game 3, I think we ran out of that emotional energy. And then I think you saw the same thing happen to Fargo in the finals. We had given it to Fargo most of the year. We went up there and swept them in their building in the last series. We had swept them there in our building at one point. And so I think them beating us kind of sucked a lot of that emotion out of their group. And I don't know that they had enough left to deal with Youngstown, obviously, then getting swept in their building. So, it's funny how this game works. You look at the schedule that we had, 2 games in the final weekend of the year, and then 2 games against Des Moines and 3 games against Waterloo, and then the draft, 2 days of the draft, and then right into playing in Fargo, and Nick and Mike and myself staying back to run the draft, and then getting in the car with Mr. Fernandez and driving to Fargo, not getting there till 1:00 in the morning. There was so much going on, and it was hard to stay focused on hockey, but it was a fun ride and a fun journey. And Sad that we came up a little bit short, but we know what it feels like to be in that position now, and certainly you want to try to find your way back there.
One of the things I remember you said late last year when you guys swept that series at Fargo was you said that it instilled that belief that you could win in that building because you have a tough series early in the year. I remember thinking, a couple weeks ago when I saw Waterloo was around the corner, I thought, for these guys who are coming back to this year's team, you're going to Waterloo this Friday and you can win there because you did it in the postseason last year.
Yes, absolutely, and that's where you have to lean on your veterans that were a part of that experience, and say, hey guys, like, sure, this is a tough environment, but anybody that pulls into the ice box is getting a pretty tough environment in their own right. You go to Des Moines, it's a tough environment. You go to any of these places, right? They're challenging to play on the road in this league, and we're going to get to see some different facilities and some different situations this year, whether it be Muskegon or Green Bay, Cedar Rapids, Dubuque. Those are all tough places to play as well. So you have to be able to win on the road in this league if you're going to be successful. And this weekend's our first test.
You're certainly getting that here. The first true road games of this season coming up this weekend. First, Waterloo, Sioux City on Saturday, who played today. I don't know. How much were you keeping up with that? I know that was right in the middle of your day with them having that school game at 11.
I took a peek, saw that Sioux Falls won, I think 6-4. Sioux Falls has a really good team. Sioux City has a really good team. I think everybody in this league is going to be a challenge to play against. There's no off nights. There's no team that can't beat you if you're not ready to go. And I think as a coach, that's exciting. You've got a game plan. You've got to prepare. You've got to have your team going throughout the course of the week. And, for us, it's an opportunity to go in there and learn a little bit more about ourselves and continue to develop our process and our culture.
It's one of those things you said. It's you get into these stretches with the road play where you have to get used to playing away from home and get a little comfortable these last couple of weeks. You've been in the ice box, you've had the crowd behind you, but now I think it's an exciting challenge. And I think that was something, I forget who it was I talked to last year, but I remember him saying that, this was my first time really playing true road games in hockey, is that you go to other places and they're cheering really hard against you. And Waterloo's going to do that. Sioux City's going to do it. A lot of other places are going to be, but I think it's a fun thing to see how the guys grow and get used to playing on the road over time.
I see Mangan out there in the lobby eating candy. I'm sure he probably doesn't need any candy. You know what? A lot of these guys coming directly from youth hockey. They don't play a traditional away game. Mangs is looking at me laughing now. The TV's on delay out there in the lobby. They don't play a traditional away game, right? You go and you play in tournaments, and sure, maybe sometimes you go and you go to the opponent's rink and you play there, but that's nothing like going into a real environment. We've been in Sioux Falls with 10,000 people. We've been in all these places where the crowds are insane, and it's a hostile environment, and you have to be able to manage that. Waterloo's a great example of it. And you have to block that out. And we talk about playing road hockey and just kind of focusing on what we do and taking control of the game so that we can quiet the crowd.
Let's talk a little real quickly about the guys who are going to be coming on the show in a moment. Nick Young and Jared Mangan. Mangan leading the team in goals right now with 3. Every time he scored, the team has won. What's it been like?
He should just score every game then.
We should work on that. What's it been like having him back this year? And he's been playing more of that center position than the wing.
Yeah, you know what? He's a guy that his motor's got to go, and there's no secret about that. When he's attacking the game and he's driving, he's really, really good, and you can tell in the games that he's not very noticeable, not very productive. He's kind of letting the game come to him, and that's something that he's learning as an older player, and the consistency of being able to do that has been there in the last few games, and it's going to continue to be there because that's what we're going to need for us to be successful.
Tell us about Nick Young a little bit, a guy who fans saw once last year. I think the diehards will probably remember that name coming back, but for a lot of fans, this is a player they're getting to meet this season.
You know what? Nick's got a pretty cool story. I've got some friends in Buffalo, and my connection there allowed us to get Nick to come out to camp 2 years ago, and he had a great camp. And we had all of our 06s at camp, and we let him go right prior to the All-Star game. He wasn't ready to play for us yet, but we talked about him in the room and said, hey, this kid's got some talent. He's somebody we need to keep an eye on. Well, one of our 06 players ultimately went to major junior hockey, which enabled us to have what's called a free ad to our affiliate list. And so we spent some time with our scouting staff, and Nick and I spoke, and ultimately we settled on we wanted to add Nick Young to our protected list. And so we were able to go down that road and acquire his rights. And then he got his commitment to Clarkson, finished his year at U16 last year, and he's come in and made the team as a young guy, and he's done a great job so far. He's physical. He's really learning how to defend. The offensive instincts are certainly there. He can absolutely bomb the puck. He's continuing to develop and grow, and that's what junior hockey is all about. So we're real excited to watch Nick continue to figure it out and become an even bigger impactful player here in Lincoln.
Excited to have him and Jared Mangan on the show in just a moment. We're going to hear from them after these messages. Stay tuned with us here. This is Outside the Box, chatting Lincoln Stars hockey on 93.7 The Ticket.
At Fairway Meat Market, you're family, and as part of the family, they want to save you money on your meat and groceries. For October, it's Pork Month. Enjoy all-natural boneless pork shoulder for $1.69 per pound, fresh pork belly for $2.99 per pound, and Fairway's fresh ham loaf mix for $2.99 per pound. That's all at Fairway Meat Market in the Rockledge Square Shopping Center, just south of 84th and Van Dorn.
Most parents have a homework schedule for the weekdays, but don't forget to cover the weekends. I'm Jenny Benson, president of the Nebraska State Education Association. A good way to avoid a problem is to set a homework schedule for the weekend. Set aside a couple hours of homework time on Saturday and help your student avoid staying up late Sunday night to finish a project. Remember, communicating with your child's teacher is vital for student success.
Sponsored by the Nebraska State Education Association, aired by the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Hi everyone, Kendall Warnock with A1 Automotive in downtown Lincoln. If you're looking for an automotive repair facility you can genuinely trust, we would be grateful for the opportunity to earn your business repairing your vehicle. We have ASE master technicians and qualified to work on a variety of vehicles from Hondas to Porsches, Jaguars to Toyotas, and Chevrolets to Fords. We pride ourselves on customer service and relationships, and we would be grateful for the opportunity to serve you. Give us a call at 402-477-4660. A1 Automotive, always honest answers.
Husker fans, head coach Amy Williams and your Husker women's basketball team want to see you at Pinnacle Bank Arena this season. Season tickets are on sale now. Reserve your spot to cheer on the Huskers as they take on some of the best teams in the Big Ten and around the country. Opponents include Creighton, Maryland, Indiana, Iowa, and more. To buy tickets, go to huskers.com/tickets or call 1-800-8-BIG-RED. They have a full season of fun set for this year. For promotional information, visit huskers.com.
What would you tell a friend who was on the fence about going to Limitless Mail?
I would tell them to go to Limitless today. Don't hesitate. You're going to second guess yourself on if it's the right decision. The staff there is amazing. The treatments work. I'm living proof that it can completely change your life for the better.
Join thousands of men who have changed their lives with testosterone treatment. Slow down the aging process and live life. Schedule your free consult at limitlessmail.com.
Ironhide Construction is hiring. They're looking for hardworking, self-motivated individuals who are team players. Ironhide Construction has openings for an experienced project manager, estimator, apprentice, skilled laborer, and erector or installer. They will train the right people and make sure you understand the position and requirements. At Ironhide Construction, it's own it, be honest, and do it right. Apply today and learn more about their other benefits at ironhideconstruction.com, where they're committed to you every step of the way.
Problem gambling affects millions of Americans daily, of all ages and walks of life. If your loved one is struggling with addiction, contact Choices Treatment Center's 24-hour helpline at 402-476-2300. That's 402-476-2300.
Fall for savings at Bonsall Pool and Spa. Beginning October 13th, customers can take advantage of great cash and financing options on Hot Spring Spas. Get up to $1,000 off a new High Life Collection Spa or $500 off a new Limelight Collection Spa when you pay in full, or get 0% APR for 60 months when you finance. This amazing offer ends October 23rd. Visit them at 33rd and Pioneers to learn more on how you can fall for savings at Bonsall Pool and Spa.
If you're not going to Memorial Stadium for a home game and don't have any travel plans for away games, there's a great place in Omaha to catch the action, the Inner Rail Food Hall. There's plenty of space. The Backstretch Bar has amazing game specials on game days. $15 Blue Moon and Bud Light pitchers, $6 margaritas, and $6 Moscow mules. And if you're hungry, take in some of their great options from their game day pizza specials. Do football game day right in the Inner Rail Food Hall in Exarban Village in Omaha.
You don't think about your roof very often, but you should never take it for granted. Roofing Service Company takes every measure to provide you with the highest quality roofing solution. Whether it's a new roof installation, roof repair, or a re-roofing project, their overall goal is to provide you with a pleasant experience and a long-lasting roof. If you have a need for siding or gutters, they're your place too. Visit roofingservicecompany.com for more info today. If you're in Seward or Milford, listen up. Select Plumbing is now servicing your area with no trip charges from Lincoln. Select Plumbing works on a variety of issues for your home and business, including general plumbing, water heaters, faucet and fixture repair, underground sewer and water repairs, backflow testing, and more. Keep your property free from leaks and other issues. Call today for a free estimate, 402-560-6197. It's not just Lincoln, Waverly, and the surrounding area anymore. It's also Seward and Milford with no trip charges. Contact Select Plumbing to inquire at 402-560-6197.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Your Lincoln forecast for today, expecting mostly sunny skies with a high of around 73. Tonight, partly cloudy with a few sprinkles possible, the low of around 55. And tomorrow, a slight chance of showers, otherwise partly sunny and breezy with an afternoon high of around 69. I'm meteorologist Kyle Butler for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
It's time for Outside the Box with Lincoln Stars head coach Rocky Russo and Lincoln Stars broadcaster Joel Norman on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
We're back on Outside the Box, chatting Lincoln Stars hockey here on 93.7 The Ticket. I'm Joel Norman, and we're joined by a couple of guests now. Forward Jared Mannion, defenseman Nick Young, as we continue to look ahead to this coming weekend. Coming up last weekend, the Stars falling 3-0 last Friday against Youngstown. They bounced back the next day with a 4-1 victory against the defending Clark Cup champs. And guys, I think you can't talk about the 2023-24 Lincoln Stars without talking about the adjustments you guys have made. All three wins have come after losses, haven't lost consecutive games, haven't won consecutive games. Tell me first off about the ability this team has had to bounce back when things have been a little bit tough. I'll start with you, Jared.
I think our ability to bounce back is good. I just think we need to work on not waiting to get punched in the face, be the first one to punch someone in the face.
Break it down for me, though. What was the biggest stuff the coaching staff talked about after Friday's game? First time you guys have been shut out in the regular season since you've been a member of the Stars. First time since game one of the Western Conference Finals last year. What was said to really change everything on Saturday?
I just think it was a wake-up call. We know we're a great team. We know what we need to do. We just didn't do it. And I think that's the most frustrating part.
Nick, what did you feel like, what was something you felt like you were told that you took to heart heading into Saturday and you said, okay, this is something that can be done differently?
Finish guys in defensive zone, be a little more physical. When we get pucks deep, try to go to the net instead of just staying on the perimeter. And I think those little things definitely help us bounce back.
Yeah, it definitely changed. It felt like even just from that first period, I don't know if you guys agree. I felt like just from watching the first period, it looked like a different team from the night before. Jared, we talked about it a little bit before the show. I mentioned it with Rocky as well. You've scored 3 goals this season. Every time you've scored, the team has won. Every time you've scored, it's been the first goal of the game as well. So tell me about that. It's got to be kind of exciting when you get that first goal of the game this many times because you kind of set the tone. And just based on your reaction after the goal Saturday in the second period, I mean, it was an exciting goal. Turnover in their defensive zone, you turn to a goal, and I don't know if we've seen you leap into the boards as hard as you did there. Take me through that goal.
Yeah, I mean, Ferds came off the bench, had a good gap, made him cut towards the middle, and it just gave me the opportunity to kind of take the puck off of him, and then I just kind of had a little breakaway there and scored and got the boys going.
That's kind of one of those things where you had to do everything perfectly and you did. Is that just where the reaction came from? It's just like, wow, that was pretty cool.
Yeah, definitely just some good luck there. It's always good to happen.
Nick, I talked a little bit with Rocky about you and you coming to the Lincoln Stars. A guy, he said that you had come here a couple of training camps ago, main camps, and you had really been, trying to make the team. Then didn't quite work out. You ended back with the team though, regardless. Talk to me about your route to being here with the Stars, because you did get into a game last season. It had to be pretty exciting when you made the team this past season.
Yeah, I was super pumped. So I came to main camp 2 years ago, and I didn't make the team, but I ended up getting added to their affiliate list, so they had my rights. And I came back to main camp this year, and I wanted to make the team, and I was fortunate enough to make the team. And it was a kind of it was a different circumstance because I didn't get drafted. Just ended up coming to main camp and making the team, so it was pretty special.
What do you love about being a Lincoln Star the most?
Just just the fans. The fans make us feel like super special. I love like after a big win, everyone's all hyped up and the boys are going in the locker room, and you come out of the locker room and all the fans are going. It's like one big community. We're all together in it.
You played in the one game last year. Was that? I'm trying to remember. Was at home though, wasn't it?
It was a home game.
That was one of those. I think that was the weeknight game. Was that February 14th? I want to say against Des
It
Moines.
was on Valentine's Day against Des Moines.
What was that like? First USHO game. You're hopping out there. How much of the nerves taking over?
It was pretty surreal. I was obviously a little nervous. I didn't end up playing that much, but it was definitely a cool experience. We ended up losing in overtime though, but it was really fun.
You got that rookie lap at the beginning, didn't
Yeah,
you?
I
thought
did.
so. What was that like? You had to know it was coming.
It was pretty cool, yeah. Was a little nervous. Corey rifled a backhand pass at me, and I almost missed it, but I caught it. So yeah, it was good.
I'm glad you brought that up because I had a fan who just noticed that was what Corey does for warm-ups. I go, wow. Or no, it was they saw Youngstown's trainer doing the same thing where he just tosses the pucks out as you guys are getting on the ice for warm-ups, and he goes, wow, what's he doing? I was like, Corey does the same thing for us. And for those who don't know, Corey Courtney, of course, longtime athletic trainer and equipment manager of the Stars. He's throwing those pretty hard, though, is he not? I mean, you've done this for 2 years now, Jared.
Yeah, he rips them. He's pretty accurate with them, though.
I was gonna say, usually gets them right on your tape.
Yeah.
Have you guys had other, trainers or equipment managers who've done something similar, or is it, I mean, that first time had to be a little bit strange. You're like, oh boy, I got to catch this.
I wasn't expecting it. It just kind of came out of nowhere. So yeah.
I always thought that was kind of funny how he does it. Jared, I asked Nick about what he loves about Lincoln. This is year 2 for you. What were you looking forward to about coming back here this summer, and what are you really enjoying about being back here in the capital city?
Oh, I mean, it's just the perfect town. I mean, this is just the perfect junior hockey town. It's not too big. It's like you go downtown. It's not like a sketchy area. It's really nice downtown. They got the Haymarket. The town's like not too big, so not everyone's like not far apart. Like you want to go hang out with some of the boys, like the farthest you got to go is like 20 minutes.
Yeah,
it's just perfect. Like the fans are great, and then we're all the only hockey team here, so that's the best part.
No competition in that regard.
Exactly.
I know you guys had a few spots as a team you'd like to eat at last year. Have you guys gotten to a point where you've gone places kind of as a team or in groups this year you really like?
I mean, agave. I could go to agave every day.
Yeah,
like agave,
Yeah,
Chick-fil-A,
agave, yeah. Blaze.
Those are like the
Good, too.
staples.
Agave is really good. I tried that last year for the first time, and that was very impressive. But
it's unreal.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
What kind of pizza do you go with at Blaze?
I stick with the traditional, just pizza, just pepperoni and cheese.
Nothing crazy?
Nothing crazy.
Nothing crazy?
I'll just do like ham and chicken with barbecue
Ham and
sauce.
chicken?
Yeah.
Well, if we're talking pizza, we get asked, is pineapple belong on pizza?
I tried it once. I wasn't a fan.
Really?
Not gonna lie, yeah.
Yeah, not in my life.
I kind of like it, actually. If it's with ham, I actually really like it. That's my sometimes wrong take with some people. But let's talk about this coming weekend. You guys are going on the road now. You take on Waterloo on Friday, Sioux City on Saturday. Waterloo off to kind of an up and down start to the season. We know what they're capable of from last year. Sioux City's been really solid despite today's loss. What excites you about going on the road, Jared? These are two places you've been before, but you know how each season, whether you're playing like you did before, other levels, or here in the USHL, it's a challenge sometimes getting up for those first road games because you know what you're going up against.
I mean, yeah, definitely, especially Waterloo. Waterloo's got a good fan base, so going in their barn is going to be tough, but should be fun, beating them in their own barn.
Nick, what excites you about this? First time seeing both of these places, first time any spots. You're going to go on the road. A little bit different preparation for sure.
Yeah, it's different. It'll be cool to see how our team reacts. I heard, their ice surface is bigger. We've never played an away game yet in regular season, so it'll be cool to see how our team faces that.
Jared, do you make any big adjustments in your game when you're playing on that Olympic size sheet? It's the only one that I could think of that's larger in the conference. We're going to learn here with some of the Eastern Conference teams this year, but do you have to do anything differently? Is it something the coaching staff tells you?
I mean, you just got to be aware of it, kind of on defense, be aware of it. On offense, like kind of use it to your advantage. That you have that little bit of extra space, a little extra time. So that's really it.
Nick, as a guy, we've seen you defensively. You jump up on rushes. You're not afraid to join the fray. If guys will pick back up, you make your way back. Is that something in the back of your mind a little bit with a bigger sheet like this?
Yeah, I mean, offensively and defensively, because jump up, there's a lot more room. But if the other team, stretches the puck up the ice, it's gonna be hard to recover. So you gotta keep it in mind both ways.
Let me ask both of you this: what's one road destination this season when you saw the schedule you were looking forward to the most for going to?
Probably Green Bay.
Green Bay?
I mean, Green Bay's got a sick rink, so that'll be fun to go there.
Pretty cool. What about you, Nick?
I was thinking the same thing.
Yeah?
I seen like a video, and it was of their rink, and it was pretty cool. And one of my buddies from my team last year plays there too, so it'll be cool.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it'll be cool.
I imagine part of the excitement with going there is getting a chance to play them again.
Yeah.
After we saw the Fall Classic, that they're down the road, but that's got to be some fun. Jared, what was your favorite rink from last year from the Western Conference? Didn't see any Eastern ones.
The Icebox.
Well, what about favorite road one? How about that?
I think Fargo has a nice rink.
Fargo?
Fargo's got a pretty good rink.
I really like that one. Nick, what about you for the Western Conference that you're excited to go to?
I'm excited to go to Omaha. Obviously,
Okay.
a big rivalry. I think they have a pretty nice rink too, so it'll be cool. Go beat them in their own barn.
Oh, there we go. My favorite thing about going to Omaha last year was the days where you didn't even hear their fans because of how the Stars were playing in a lot of those. We certainly had fun in that rivalry last year, and obviously they're off to a tough start. Hate to see it to such a good team like that, but regardless, chatting with Jared Mangan as well as Nick Young. We're going to have more to come in just a moment here on Outside the Box as we chat Lincoln Stars hockey on 93.7 The Ticket.
Hi, my name is Molly Party. I'm a realtor with MP Dodge Real Estate. I'm a newly licensed agent and considered numerous brokerages before deciding on MP Dodge. I chose the company that gives me the most support in my new career, plus guidance and encouragement along the way. MP Dodge has a unique mentoring program for new agents. It's helped jumpstart my career and has a supportive management team and administrative staff. So if you're contemplating a career in real estate, look no further than MP Dodge. It will be the best decision you make.
Fall has arrived, and it's the perfect weather for the DIY market to listen to the game while building a deck. Deck City is a great place to start as Lincoln's local source for everything decks. Deck City has everything you need to build the deck of your dreams, from treated lumber to Westbury aluminum railings and Decorators composite decking. They offer advice from real deck professionals to give you proper guidance and to make your project go smoothly. Call them today to schedule an appointment at 402-480-6671 or go online to deckcityne.com.
Problem gambling affects millions of Americans daily, of all ages and walks of life. If your loved one is struggling with addiction, contact Choices Treatment Center's 24-hour helpline at 402-476-2300. That's 402-476-2300.
At Fairway Meat Market, your family, and as part of the family, they want to save you money on your meat and groceries. For October, it's Pork Month. Enjoy all-natural boneless pork shoulder for $169 per pound, fresh pork belly for $2.99 per pound, and Fairway's fresh ham loaf mix for $2.99 per pound. That's all at Fairway Meat Market in the Rockledge Square Shopping Center just south of 84th and Van Dorn.
Husker fans, head coach Amy Williams and your Husker women's basketball team want to see you at Pinnacle Bank Arena this season. Season tickets are on sale now. Reserve your spot to cheer on the Huskers as they take on some of the best teams in the Big Ten and around the country. Opponents include Creighton, Maryland, Indiana, Iowa, and more. To buy tickets, go to huskers.com/tickets or call 1-800-8-BIG-RED. They have a full season of fun set for this year. For promotional information, visit huskers.com.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Your Lincoln forecast for today, expecting mostly sunny skies with a high of around 73. Tonight, partly cloudy with a few sprinkles possible, the low of around 55. And tomorrow, a slight chance of showers, otherwise partly sunny and breezy with an afternoon high of around 69. I'm meteorologist Kyle Plecker for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Fall for savings at Bonsall Pool and Spa. Beginning October 13th, customers can take advantage of great cash and financing options on hot spring spas. Get up to $1,000 off a new High Life Collection spa or $500 off a new Limelight Collection spa when you pay in full, or get 0% APR for 60 months when you finance. This amazing offer ends October 23rd. Visit them at 33rd and Pioneers to learn more on how you can fall for savings at Bonsall Pool and Spa. Ironhide Construction is hiring. They're looking for hardworking, self-motivated individuals who are team players. Ironhide Construction has openings for an experienced project manager, estimator, apprentice, skilled laborer, and erector or installer. They will train the right people and make sure you understand the position and requirements. At Ironhide Construction, it's own it, be honest, and do it right. Apply today and learn more about their other benefits at ironhideconstruction.com, where they're committed to you every step of the way.
If you're not going to Memorial Stadium for a home game and don't have any travel plans for away games, there's a great place in Omaha to catch the action, the Inner Rail Food Hall. There's plenty of space. The Backstretch Bar has amazing game specials on game days. $15 Blue Moon and Bud Light pitchers, $6 margaritas, and $6 Moscow mules. And if you're hungry, take in some of their great options from their game day pizza specials. Do football game day right in the Inner Rail Food Hall in Exarban Village in Omaha. It's time to close out the 2023 high school football regular season right here on 93.7 The Ticket. Hey guys, it's Nick Sainer. Join me and the Husker Hall of Famer Jay Foreman this Thursday and Friday for a doubleheader in the final week of the regular season. First up on Thursday, it's a matchup of 2, 3, and 5 overall teams as they fight for the final playoff spot. Miller North travels to Lincoln to face off against the Silverhawks of Lincoln Southwest. And then on Friday, it's a top 10 clash between Gretna and the Lincoln East Spartans. All that and more coming your way this Thursday and Friday for high school football on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
October is full of sports, with football and volleyball reaching mid-season and basketball and winter sports starting up. All the excitement of the games brings major stress, and stress causes tight muscles and pain. It's time to call the Body Shop, your place in Lincoln for all types of massages: deep tissue, hydrating, sports, Swedish, hot stone, aroma, and more. And don't forget about their couples massages. Eliminate the pain from sports watching stress today with a massage at the Body Shop at 48th and A and online at thebodyshoplincoln.com.
Tune in to the Teammates Mentoring Hour each Wednesday from 6 to 7 p.m. on 93.7 The Ticket. Hear stories from the program started by Tom and Nancy Osborne and how it's changed mentors and mentees' lives and how you can be involved. The Teammates Mentoring Hour, Wednesday nights from 6 to 7 o'clock on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
College football in Lincoln, America. The time has come. Start your game day off right with the A1 Automotive Ticket Tailgate pregame show. Join the Ticket crew as they bring you all the coverage you need to get you ready for the action. It's the A1 Automotive Ticket Tailgate pregame show, powered by Sunbelt Rentals. Ben Bleicher with Professional Realty Group of BHHS Ambassador, Select Plumbing, Jimmy John's, Lincoln Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits, Fleet Feet, Yours Cheese Spread on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. It's time for Outside the Box with Lincoln Stars head coach Rocky Russo and Lincoln Stars broadcaster Joel Norman on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome back one last time into Outside the Box here on 93.7 The Ticket. I'm Joel Norman, joined by Lincoln Stars forward Jared Mangan, defenseman Nick Young. And guys, you had a little, we mentioned the big weekend this past week against Youngstown, 2 emotional games. Got a chance to kind of let some stress off a little bit yesterday, playing a little bit of paintball. Tell me about that. We were talking about it a little bit ago, a moment off air. Had to be a fun kind of early season team bonding activity.
Yeah, it was definitely fun. Thankfully, it warmed up, so it wasn't cold, so it didn't hurt that bad. But a couple of shots still got me pretty good.
Nick, who was I'm going to put you on the spot. Who was the best player? Who was the worst player yesterday on this team?
I'm gonna say Lucas Massey. I'm gonna say he was the best player. He was pretty sneaky. Yeah, he was hitting some guys pretty good. And the worst I'm gonna say was Max for Kodak. He was kind of funny to watch because he looked like he was a little scared, so he would stay back and just spraying, but not really aiming. It was pretty funny.
I heard from a couple people that he was a little scared from it. And I was like, this is a guy, he's got one of the hardest shots, if not the hardest on this team.
Mhm.
And he's scared, getting shot. I couldn't believe seeing that. And, some of the back and forth pushing he was doing last week. I was very surprised to see it. Jared, do you agree with Nick's picks?
Massey was pretty good. Is probably either the goalies were the best. Jan and Massey were pretty good, and maybe I don't know. I kind of want to say Lori because she was just hiding in the back the whole time.
Play a little strategy there.
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny. It's funny hearing the goalies too. I don't know if you would expect that a little bit, but for them, probably a little different going on the offensive, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's talk about you guys. There's one thing in common with you besides being the same build house. You're both Clarkson commits. Tell me why you guys committed there. Jared, you've been committed for about a year. Nick, probably right around the same time frame for you. I'll start with you. What made you choose Clarkson?
I went there and I fell in love with the facility. It was super nice. The coaches, they just welcomed me in. The tradition there was pretty special, and I just fell in love with the school.
So you had a chance to visit, you said as well.
Mm-hmm,
What was that like? Did you make your decision before your visit or after it?
I made my decision before the visit. We talked for a while, and I decided to commit. And then I went out a week later and toured the facility.
Jared, what about you? I know we've talked about it before, but it's got to be nice, especially knowing someone else who's committed there. What was the biggest thing about Clarkson that stood out to you?
I mean, like Nick said, the facilities they're unreal, and I think just the small town kind of feel to it. I love that, because I went to prep school and kind of that same small town feel, and I loved it. So, kind of felt like the right decision. And coaches obviously, they're helped me so much, and they just convinced me.
If I'm remembering right, you didn't get a chance to visit before you committed. Have you had a chance to visit since then?
I did. So I've seen it before.
Okay.
I've been up there before, but not on unofficial. But I went on official this summer and toured the whole thing again.
For both of you guys, this is I think what's so neat about it. You're from New York, Nick. Jared, you're from South Carolina, if I'm remembering right. You guys have got to see a little bit of this country in the last couple of years. A couple of teams, juniors you've played with. Being throughout New York, you played the Buffalo Sabres AAA too, right?
Yeah,
if I'm not mistaken. And now you're over here in Lincoln. What's that kind of been like for you guys getting a chance to do this in those teenage years?
It's been pretty cool. I mean, hockey takes you some pretty awesome places, and I'm just thankful to be able to do all that stuff.
What about you, Nick?
Yeah, I'm thankful. It's super cool. Talking to my friends from back home, not a lot of them got to travel as much as I done. With the AAA team, I've been all over the country, and it's super fun. It's quite the experience.
What's been the biggest difference for you playing USHL full-time versus AAA hockey?
Probably just the level of hockey. I'm not gonna lie, it's so much faster. Everyone, is going guns blazing all the time, and it's a lot harder, but it's super fun.
Is it a situation maybe where you see more guys who are not necessarily more relaxed because you still guys have a lot to fight for right now, but you see maybe more guys relax at the USHL level than AAA by chance?
What do you mean?
I'm saying relax. You're at the AAA level. Maybe you're in the midst of trying to get on a USHL team, maybe trying to get a college commitment as well. Are you enjoying that part of being with the USHL team, kind of more stability maybe?
Yeah, for sure. And also, I feel like everyone's a little tighter, the brotherhood. The AAA team, everyone's going to school. You just have practice in the evening. And here it's you're with each other all day at the rink. And then even after you go to someone's house, watch a movie. So
I know a lot of you guys also do some classes. Are either of you doing any classes right now in addition to playing hockey full time?
I am. I actually just came from study hall.
Okay.
Yeah.
What class are you on right now?
I have one English class.
Okay.
Yeah, that's it.
That's not bad.
No.
Jared, what about you?
I'm not doing any right now, but starting next semester, I'm going to take some college classes.
Full-time hockey player this fall, though?
Yeah, full-time hockey player. Student athlete next fall.
There you go. What class are you going to be taking?
I have them on my phone. I don't know. It's 2 intro to something, and then 2 other classes I'm going to be taking 4.
I don't blame you for not knowing. I remember going to my final semester, I think it was senior year of college. I remember family members asking me, and the semester started the next day. What are you taking? We'll figure out tomorrow. I can't remember right now. Worry about that when we get there. Guys, we kind of wind things down here. Let's talk real briefly about this weekend. We mentioned going on the road. What are the things you guys have to do? We talked about the first games of the weekend have been tough. What do you have to do to get that win starting first off on Friday night? I'll start with you, Jared.
I think just like I said, not wait to get punched in the face. I mean, just be the first one to punch him and then stay on him.
Nick, what about you?
Yeah, we got to set the tone early. We got to underhandle pucks, make the simple play, get everyone involved, the defense involved in the offense. And, we got to be smart defensively. Obviously, it's a big rink, and we got to be willing to go to the net and vary our chances.
Yeah, it's certainly going to provide its own challenge, as we mentioned, Waterloo, and then right after that, going right into Sioux City, a team who doesn't play on Friday night as well. Well, guys, thank you very much for joining us. Let's go get 4 points this weekend.
Yep. Thanks for having us.
Thanks for having me.
That's Jared Mangan and Nick Young joining me. I'm Joel Norman. We thank you for tuning in. This has been Outside the Box here on 93.7 The Ticket.